Hi there, Dr. Holly Rizzo here. Welcome back to our lecture series in pediatric dentistry. Today we'll be discussing antibiotic prophylaxis. So, before we delve deeper into which conditions require prophylaxis and which don't, let's first talk about required doses for antibiotic prophylaxis in both children and adults. So, you can feel free to pause this presentation and take a look at the doses. Numbers are important not only for the exam, but as you prepare to become a clinician and a dentist, making sure you're providing optimal care. So, this table shows the antibiotic regimens for dental procedures, and typically a single dose is required 30 to 60 minutes before the procedure. So, just some abbreviations that are noted here. IM indicates intramuscular and IV indicates intravenous. So, 1 star means that there's another first or second generation oral cephalosporin in equivalent adult or pediatric dosing. So, that's noted here. And 2 stars is that cephalosporins should not be used in an individual with a history of anaphylaxis, angioedema, or urticaria with a penicillin or ampicillin. And finally, according to the American Heart Association, clindamycin is no longer recommended for antibiotic prophylaxis for patients who are allergic to penicillin and ampicillin because of the risk associated with developing C. difficile. Instead, we should consider using azithromycin or one of the other drugs listed here. So, what are the dental procedures that do require antibiotic prophylaxis now that we know which medication to use? So, antibiotic prophylaxis is suggested for any dental procedure that involves manipulation of the gingival tissue or the periapical region of the tooth and perforation of the oral mucosa, such as a gingivectomy or implant placement. Procedures that don't involve tissue manipulation, such as anesthetic injections through non infected tissue, taking dental radiographs, or even bleeding from trauma, antibiotic prophylaxis is not needed. So we talked about what procedures might require antibiotics, but who are the patients who need antibiotic prophylaxis and why? So antibiotic prophylaxis is a preventative measure that's aimed at reducing the risk of infection. For high-risk cardiac patients, this is to prevent infective endocarditis, which is a serious infection of the heart's inner lining or valves. This is super critical for individuals who are undergoing invasive dental procedures, which could introduce bacteria into the bloodstream, potentially leading to an infective endocarditis. So the patients that this would affect would be any patient with a prosthetic cardiac valve or material, a patient with a previous relapse or recurrent infective endocarditis, a patient with a congenital heart disease, and patients who had a cardiac transplant and developed cardiac valvulopathy. For non cardiac patients with a compromised immune system, these still may be at risk for complications of bacteremia and distant site infections from a dental procedure. So, prophylaxis should still be considered and limited to those at high risk for adverse outcomes from a distant site infection. So, who are these patients with compromised immunity? So, immunosuppression could be secondary to different conditions such as HIV, SCIDS, or severe combined immunodeficiency syndrome, or neutropenia. Patients who are also on chemotherapy or radiation therapy are at high risk of developing infections. And finally, hematopoietic stem cell or solid organ transplantation patients should be considered for antibiotic prophylaxis after speaking with their physicians. So, this slide here touches on a few possible conditions in which antibiotic may be considered, and these are some to keep in mind for the board's exam. These include autoimmune disease, sickle cell anemia, and history of head and neck radiotherapy. And these patients are at an increased risk and may benefit from prophylactic antibiotics and safety during dental procedures. Again, we should be discussing this with their primary care physician prior to initiating any antibiotic therapy. So, next, let's end by discussing antibiotic prophylaxis in cases with joint replacement. So, currently, prophylactic antibiotics for dental procedures are not advised. There may be some debate on whether patients with prosthetic joints should receive antibiotic prophylaxis before dental procedures, but research now indicates that there is no significant link between routine dental procedures and prosthetic joint infections, suggesting that pre-dental antibiotics are not effective in preventing such infections. Given this, implementing antibiotic prophylaxis could expose patients to unnecessary risks, such as anaphylaxis or development of bacterial resistance and opportunistic infections. So, it's very important to carefully and critically weigh the risk and benefit ratio and consider patient circumstances before administering any antibiotics in these situations. So, let's go into some example questions. Example one is each of the following requires antibiotic prophylaxis except one, and which is the exception. So feel free to pause and think about this question. So the correct answer to this question is option B, primary tooth exfoliation. So antibiotic prophylaxis is necessary for procedures involving manipulation of the gingival tissues or periapical region, or those that perforate the mucosa. However, primary tooth exfoliation is natural and does not involve such manipulation, so we do not need antibiotic prophylaxis for something like this. Next, we have question 2, which has a 5-year-old male who comes in complaining that there's a lot of pain on the upper right side. This patient has a penicillin allergy and a former cardiac surgery to replace a prosthetic valve. So, which of the following treatments should be considered before dental treatment? So, feel free to pause again and think about this question. So the correct answer here is option B. Azithromycin, erythromycin, or doxycycline are the recommended antibiotics for antibiotic prophylaxis if a patient is allergic to penicillin, which this patient is. Clindamycin is no longer recommended due to its high risk of developing a C. difficile infection. So, just to summarize today's discussion, all dental procedures involving manipulation of the gingival tissue, the periapical region of the teeth, or perforation of the oral mucosa may require antibiotic prophylaxis. Additionally, antibiotic prophylaxis dosage in children and varies from adults, and these are indicated in specific conditions. Thanks so much for joining today, and I hope you learned something today about antibiotics and prophylaxis in children and adults. See you next time.